I call this meeting to order at 4:37 p.m. Can everyone go through and state their name for attendance?
Julia Seifert.
Roman Kotroki.
Isha Khan.
Okay, and will any others in the room please state their name?
Victoria COC.
Finley Gibbons.
Thank you. All right, our first interview is Micah. Does someone want to go see if Micah's out there?
Micah Barrett. There's no Micah.
Okay.
There's nobody out there.
Do
Okay.
you want to interview Finley when we're waiting?
Yes.
Yeah. Finley, do you want me to leave with you?
And there's nothing in here that's not already publicly requested.
Do you mind stating your name and what you're applying for?
My name is Finley Gibbons. I am applying for the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences permanent Senate seat.
Alrighty. You will have 5 minutes whenever you'd like to begin. Set the timer for you. Alright, and your first question is what motivates you to apply for this position?
So currently I am actually a student senator. I'm a summer A replacement. That is kind of my main motivation. I want to continue working towards the things that I'm working on and kind of answer some of the later questions. But that's kind of my motivation. Currently I'm a resident assistant, so I'm already interacting with many people and trying to help them as much as I can. And I want to continue that further as a student senator.
Alrighty. Your next question is what experiences do you have that would make you a good fit for this position?
Yeah, so again, current student senator, so I kind of know what the position is like. I've already worked on various legislation. I've also worked on starting a health caucus with Senator Weinberger. And as well, as I previously mentioned, I'm a resident assistant. So I already deal with a lot of housing, a lot of UF organizations, such as housing primarily, but I've also dealt with other aspects of UF that help prop it up. And I also, through my job as a RA, I'm helping students. I'm, listening to them. I'm having to make professional communication with many people. All things that are valuable, aspects that help me to become a senator.
All right. Your final question is what ideas do you have?
So I'm mainly just continuing the stuff that I am currently doing. I'm really passionate about absentee ballots. I have one bill that's actually going to be heard tomorrow, which is dealing with codifying exactly when absentee ballots need to be released. I'm also in the start of working with the supervisor of elections and IT in order to establish communication between absentee voters when they return their ballot. Because currently, if you mail your ballot into the supervisor of elections, you get no confirmation. So you have no idea if they got their if they got your ballot, if they, if it was all correct or anything like that. So I'm currently starting the process in order to see how we can get that system established. I'm also currently starting and helping Senator Weinberger with the Health Caucus, which is really important to me as a pre-med sort of student. So I want to continue the legislation that we've planned so far with that. One of the things that we'll talk about probably actually this upcoming meeting is we're going to start a goggle drive for students who may not be able to afford goggles. So that's some of the things I want to continue further. Making sure our election laws are set in stone and like clear, as well as continuing to help our pre-med, pre-health students as well as senators who may also be it, because there's a lot of us there.
Alrighty. Do you have any questions for us?
No, not particularly.
All right. Thank you so
Do you have
much.
any other questions?
Thank you so much.
All right, cool. It is weird applying as a senator for another senator seat.
No. I don't know.
Who's next?
It should be Rachel. I got an email saying, "Oh, I can't make it," and I said, "Okay, would you like a phone interview?" And then I never got a response. So,
What? I was gonna see if there's anybody else out here.
unless Micah is out there, emailing him right now.
Are we allowed to just call them? No. They have to request.
So, like, we could, but that's like, I'm trying to keep it consistent with, like, consistently in the past. That's what I've done, is if they haven't showed up, I've just emailed them and see if they've replied.
No one out there.
Also, there was this one time where we weren't sure whether a girl had requested a phone interview or not. So we called her. You remember that one time? And she responded, and you were like, "Hey, is now a good time for an interview?" And she was like, "No."
Oh, no, she fully requested one. She was like, "Oh, I can do it over the phone." I said, "Okay." I said, "Okay, but we have to call you at the
Is there
end."
no one out there?
I didn't see
She was
anyone, but
very
It
not
was
happy with the fact that I called
weird.
her.
She was
It's
not
like,
happy.
"Okay,
I
goodbye,
thought she
sorry."
was like sick or something. I don't know. It's 444. Maybe she got the dates wrong. She just said no.
That's crazy.
No, it wasn't even that.
She was like rude.
She was really rude, and we were all like, "Yikes!"
I was like, "Hi, it's Blake with the replacement agenda committee. Like, are you ready for your interview?" She's like, "No." I was like, "Oh, like, is now not a good time?" She was like, "No." I said,
What?
"Okay, goodbye."
Yikes.
That's crazy.
You know what happens.
Yeah, it was crazy. No, it doesn't happen.
That is kind of funny.
Well, you know it happens.
So what do you guys do now? You just
Now we wait.
Pretend that you have everything.
Okay. I'm gonna go get some water.
Okay.
What are you doing?
I'm getting water.
What are your motivations for parliamentarian?
Is this still being recorded?
Yep.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yes. Me and Robert are like this.
Her motivation is
You know
that.
Robert?
Yeah. You know Robert's close.
You know him?
We made them together.
Together?
They're like this.
He was in my class in middle school.
No, we're just besties.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so I know it.
You got it.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I'm so very proud. I'm so Why are you not amused?
I am amused.
Am I not entertaining them?
For my interview.
No, I forgot to tell you, I did pretty well at the tournament. I got pretty far.
That's huge.
It was cool.
What time can
Are you on the phone?
sports dude?
Did you say, is this the rec sports dude? You were just called rec sports dude.
Wait, can
No,
I just
he's
saw.
right.
I just
He's
saw.
right.
I just saw. Oh yeah. I saw him giving a
That's
presentation.
hilarious.
During,
Not previous star agency head is crazy.
Oh, I don't know. I just saw him at Rex Sports.
That's awkward. Big fans. His name is Roman. No, no. Nicki Minaj.
What?
What did you have to show?
It's a DM shirt.
No, it's our freshman year cabinet was giving those out, and it's like promoting mental
Send it
health.
to me.
Mm.
I'm doing it right now.
Is Antonio out there? Oh, okay.
He is or no?
Do you know how to get it?
What?
I'm ready to go.
Go see if he is. Yeah, you can go for it.
Or, who we see?
Who's out there?
Yeah, who we
Who is it?
Do you want to go see if Antonio's
Rachel?
out there?
Okay, sure. Yeah.
No, Rachel emailed me saying she couldn't make it, and I'm waiting to hear back from her and Micah about whether or not we're doing a fun interview.
I think Antonio's running a little late.
I just had the weirdest conversation. A random mom just came up to me and
I saw
asked me
that.
about student senate. Mainly just asked me what I was doing, and I to like
Crazy.
it was weird. And then like she like thoroughly embarrassed her daughter.
Get
And
her
she's
kids
like,
up front.
Well, judging by the fact that no one is here,
Okay.
it'll
No one is
probably end
outside.
around, like
Could-
6. Before 6. We can
Could
go
you, could someone make a motion at the end, because we did get an executive nomination, so that has to be added to the agenda. Just a heads up.
Okay. Okay, wait. Let me tell you what's for the agenda. Basically, wait, who's the executive nomination?
Let me look. David Gorland for the executive secretary in graduate, professional, and family housing, I think. Or it just says graduate, professional, and family in my email.
Great. Yeah, he's awesome. Okay.
Oh, isn't he the medical?
Yeah, he was the med guy. Super cool.
The med guy.
This dude?
I think you missed his legendary. He like
Maybe.
came in.
That's so
He
sick.
had a really nice
and he was
presentation.
he was there in Senate for like a total of like 3 months. He was a med student in his 4th year, didn't miss a single meeting, and he gave a presentation on like something. Hello.
Hi.
How's it
there's
going?
a
Pretty
medical
good, how are
student
y'all?
suicide rate.
Great.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming.
Glad to be here.
I don't think do we want to.
Would you like to do your interview now? I know it's a little early.
Either way,
If you don't mind.
like do it now?
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds good.
Alright. You can sit down like that.
How are y'all doing today?
Great. How
Great, how are you?
Pretty good.
Alrighty. You'll have 4 minutes when you'd like to begin, and then we'll do them. And then after that, we'll go into technical questions. So first things first. What is your wait? Sorry. Could you state your name and what you're applying for?
Reagan Robinson. I'm applying for the open seat on the Budget and Appropriations Committee.
And you'll have 4 minutes if you'd like to begin. First question is, what is your motivation for applying?
My motivation for applying, excuse me, my grammar is struggling today. My motivation for applying stems from the fact that I love numbers, I love budgetary. I actually work for the Union County Clerk of Courts, and there I found like an absolute love for creating these budgets for the county commissioners and making numbers add up, and it just really makes sense in my brain. So that for starters, and then wanting to make a difference. That's something I came from, like a super small town. I wanted to have the opportunity to come in and make an impact, and I think I can do that here.
All right. Next question is, what experience do you have that would make you a good fit for this position?
Like I mentioned, I worked for the Union County Clerk, and there we learned a ton about budgets, about appropriating funds, about balances, and just day-to-day functions of an accountant. So aside from that knowledge, I also work for UF in the IFS Business Services. So there we also did a lot of budgetary means as well as financials and balancing. So with that specifically, I also know how the UF budget system works. So like that's just a lot of qualification. And then aside from that, with the Board of County Commission, we sit in as the clerk's office on a lot of their budgetary hearings. So we discuss purposes as well as something that's impactful and like, hey, like, can this funding be better spent here? So that's something that we do actively that would serve me well in this position. Sorry, I'm like a little bit nervous. So
No worries.
You're
You're doing great. Your final question is, what ideas do you have?
Okay. So I have 3 main ideas. The first for me, and I don't know if this is something that is already in practice, but would be going and seeing a governmental budget hearing, whether it's at the state level or something more local, like the local Board of County Commission. I'm someone who excels when they see what they need to do in practice. So I think seeing what these real governmental bodies, not that we're not a real governmental body, but these like people who do it for their jobs and see them function would help us better function. Furthermore, this might also be something they already do, but I'd like to hear interviews with different people who are requesting funds. So like this certain club wants this, okay, well let's send them down, let's have them have a presentation, and then they discuss what specifics are being used for, and then we can go from there and say, hey, this might be better spent elsewhere, hey, you do need this, like more money, so doing that as well. And then finally, I think a workshop for other senators would be really cool, because it can be daunting when you sit down and you look and you're like, oh my gosh, like what do these finances mean? Like what does this bill mean? I think having that workshop to allow them to fully understand their intent before making a decision will really be impactful. That's something we did for the Board of County Commission, and it completely changed their understanding and their effectiveness.
Perfect. And we'll now go on to technical questions. Your first question is, what is the difference between an operational request and an event request?
So the operational request is something that's done in a bodily meeting, whereas the others is something made by an organization that is for a special event and they're requesting funds for it.
What are the big 4 entities?
So you have your student government, and then rights union, rec sports, and student engagement.
What kind of requests do the budget committee hear?
They hear requests for operational as well as travel, event, and I know this, sorry. Operational, travel, event, and line items.
Right. And when does student government's fiscal year begin, and when does it end?
It begins on July 1st and ends on June 30th.
Perfect. Do you have any questions for us?
When should we hear back?
You should hear back when the agenda gets sent out. Okay. You can look and see who is nominated.
Okay, good deal. Sorry for the beginning. It was not what I normally do, like speaking standard-wise. This was terrifying. I haven't done any sort of like formal interview in probably a solid year, and so this was like...
You did great. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
for
Have a good
coming in.
day.
Have a
You
great
too.
day.
Yes, are you ready?
Yes, I'm not feeling well.
No
so
worries.
I have the mask and I'll sit far in. How are you all today?
Doing alright. How are you doing?
I'm just a little stuffy. But yeah, things are well.
Are you like ready? Or do you?
Almost. Just need a moment to breathe.
Yeah, of course.
It's very hot outside.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. All right. Just let me know when you're ready.
Well, yes, I got this. I'm ready.
Alright. You'll have 4 minutes whenever you'd like to begin. Would you mind stating your name and what you're applying for?
Hi, I am Antonio Hendricks, graduate student senator. I'm applying for the budget committee seat.
Alright, and you'll have 4 minutes whenever you'd like to begin. Then we move into technical questions. Your first question is, what is your motivation for applying for this position?
I'd like to see more graduate student representation on the committees. Currently, there is a single graduate student senator on the budget committee, but she's a temporary senator. And this, I think it's reasonable to ask that there be at least one graduate senator on the committee at all times, especially because we make up the single largest constituency group on campus, 33%, with more to come in the next couple of years with the Jacksonville campus. Yeah, I think there's a lot that can be done in this committee.
Alright. Your next question, what experience do you have that would make you a good fit for this position?
I have ample experience, maybe more than any student that's applied for this position ever. I have served as the treasurer for 3 very large student organizations at my former university, each with over 150 members. I served as the Senate Pro Tempore of my undergraduate university for a year and a half, as well as student body vice president. As treasurer of clubs, I submitted budget requests, and I was very familiar with the SG system. For the role as the vice chair of the Budget Audit and Budget Committee, ABC, different from Budget and Appropriations Committee, we played many of the similar roles, of course with a much more constrained budget than UF, though that makes me an asset here because I understand how to use the budgets effectively, investigating each part. We conducted dozens, maybe 100 audits of student orgs throughout my time, and created very systematic processes for refining our budget, both as for student orgs requesting their budgets and tracking their spending over time.
All right. And your final question is, what are some ideas that you have?
I have lots. Please refer to my, I think, 3-page document, but some of these include ways to bring more students into our democracy, and that's by simply advertising our elections. I presented the idea of doing something similar to the Giving Day ties, but for SG. Currently, we don't market very well. I see significant potential for an expansion of Gator Connect, where student orgs and students can use this online tool to collaborate and post meeting times and so on, budget requests. Our current Google Drive system, first come, first serve, has lots of problems, and there are already baked in systems for within Gator Connect that we can utilize with software that the university already pays for, that SG already pays for. We currently spend about $95,000 on an information technology budget or line item that I'm on the information and technology committee for the university, and I can tell you we are not getting that benefit for our $95,000 that we put in each year. According to the committee, we're only really spending about $35,000. We have lots of room there. We're spending all of it. It's just the worth of that is a little less. Sorry, a bit out of breath. We've discussed committee precedents or deciding things by precedents.
That is your time, unfortunately. Okay. Let's get that to stop. Sorry about that. We'll now move on to technical questions. First up, what is the difference between an operational request and an event request?
An operational request is for funds that goes towards general body meetings, and event requests go towards very specific, specialized events that do not happen regularly. They can be scheduled for multiple times a year, or even once a year, but generally speaking, they're rarer occurrences than GBMs.
What are the big four entities?
The Big Four was recently transitioned from the Big Five. It includes student government, student engagement, which was previously sorority and fraternity affairs combined with SAI, activity and involvement. Rec sports and the rights union are the other two.
What requests do the budget committee hear?
The budget committee hears both the operational budget for student orgs, event, travel budget, line items, and operational event, line item, transfer, travel. There may be one more, but can't think of it at this moment. I may have already said it. Sorry, I was saying.
When does student government's fiscal year begin and when does it end?
It ends on June 30th and begins July 1st.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Questions?
Oh yeah, do you have any questions for us?
Do you have a question?
Your supplemental information is not working for me.
Okay. I can
It's working.
email
Oh,
it
yeah.
to you directly if you'd like.
I can open it.
I can just look at romance.
There are a couple items that were added compared to last time I've interviewed. This is, I think, my 9th time interviewing. Yeah.
Have a good day.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
I'm
Feel
so
better?
tired.
SMS. Bye.
Who's next to send?
It's a phone interview.
Okay.
See you.
Bye.
See you on Tuesday.
Is it Cameron?
Yes.
Hello?
Hey, Cameron.
That's me.
Hey, this is Blake calling with the Replacement Agenda Committee. Are you ready for your interview?
I sure am. Thanks for calling.
Perfect. Alrighty, so you will have 4 minutes whenever you'd like to begin, and then we'll move into technical questions. The first question is, what is the difference between an operational request and an event request?
Yeah, so the primary difference is that an operational budget request refers to funding for general body meetings, while an event request would refer to a more special event that is outside of a general body meeting that an organization requests funding for.
Oh wait, I just asked you a technical question.
Just keep doing it.
We'll start over and do your four minutes, and then we'll skip that at the end.
Okay, that's what it says. Look at you. Okay.
That is on me. I'm scrambled today. So your first question is, what is your motivation for applying?
Yeah, so I touched on this in more detail in my application, but specific to this committee, although I'm a rising sophomore, I've had the privilege of working with a wide array of student leaders and student organizations through my advocacy work, and that experience has informed me that many of these student leaders do not feel seen or heard currently by the budget process. They also believe that the important work that they're doing and leading is not being supported financially. And this is a big problem because every student pays into the funding that student government has access to over and discretion over, and it's my belief that every student should feel that funding is being used to benefit all students, and especially the important work that these students are working on the ground. And I think that's one of my primary motivations. And I'd also like to see the priorities of activists on campus, people working towards sustainability on campus, and other important issues like reproductive health care and access to menstrual products and whatnot. That important work is reflected in the budget of the student government, as well as the resolutions sponsored by senators, various caucuses calling for attention to a specific issue. I think those priorities should be reflected in the budget, and I hope to advocate for them if privileged with a seat on the committee.
Right. What experience do you have that would make you a good fit for this position?
Yeah, so I really think I'm uniquely qualified to serve on the budget committee. First and foremost, I'm a business administration major, but aside from that, I also serve as the founder and executive director of a 501 organization called Youth Action Fund that operates across the state. In that role, I serve as the chief financial officer, and I draft a budget in excess of $600,000 annually. And that means, working on a budget that includes over 100 individual line items. And the experience has also led me, to understanding how to work with stakeholders to craft a budget that works for everyone involved, our board, our primary stakeholders, as well as the communities that we. And obviously, that experience is very vast. And not a time to get into it, but I think it speaks for itself in terms of understanding how to design, craft, and work with others to make a budget that works. But specifically on campus, I've also, YF has served as an additional funder to student organizations, and specifically student organizations funded by SG. That includes folks like the Generation Action chapter at UF, who we funded to implement the brown bag and period pack program, which provided access to mental health and other resources to low-income students. That work was actually recognized. Their work and also our support of that work was recognized in many media outlets that serve Gainesville. We also worked with another SG-funded organization, Climate Action Gator, to fund a very large trip to the Capitol earlier this year related to climate action advocacy. And so, that experience of actually working with the leaderships of each of these organizations has been very helpful in understanding how we can meet their needs, as a student government, and especially on the budget committee.
All right. And what ideas do you have?
Yeah, so I have a lot of ideas, so I'll rattle off some that are super important to me. So as I've listed in my application, I think increased transparency and information for student leaders that can benefit from the budget committee is certainly a priority. So that would include inviting student leaders to certain budget committee meetings and hearings to make sure that they're aware and involved in the process. I would go as far as to work to just navigate how possibly we can designate liaisons or contacts to work specifically with certain student clubs who may have special accommodations or needs that we would like to be included in the budget process. I think one awesome way to do that would be even hosting certain semesterly informational sessions or town halls or some sort of gatherings that invite treasurers or perhaps even the executive boards of.
That is your time, unfortunately.
Okay, no worries.
All right, we'll kind of resume technical questions. What are the big four entities?
Yeah, the big four refers to student engagement, student government, Southwest Rec, recreational sports, and the Rights Student Union.
What requests do the budget committee hear?
They cover operational requests as well as travel, event, and line item requests.
When does student government's fiscal year begin, and when does it end?
The fiscal year starts on July 1st and concludes on June 30th.
Alrighty. Do you have any questions for us?
I do not. Thank you very much, and I appreciate all of your considerations.
Of course. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You as well. Bye-bye.
Does anyone want to go see if Anjali is out there?
I can go check, and while I'm going to check, you can check your email and see if you got an email from someone requesting for an interview.
Nose goes.
What?
Oh, that's what you were doing?
Yeah.
Nope, no phone interview requests.
No. Should I close the door?
No, you keep it open.
You got it.
You can sit at any. Well,
Alrighty. Do you mind stating your name and what you're applying for?
Sure. My name is Angelina Trajan, and I'm applying for a seat on the Budget and Appropriations Committee.
Alrighty. You will have 4 minutes whenever you'd like to begin, and then we'll move into technical questions. First off is, what is your motivation for applying?
Great. Okay. So So I talked about this a little bit on my application, but one of my main motivations for applying is really just that I have a very large interest in helping the budget committee allocate money and making sure that all of our student government organizations feel like their voice is heard. In that committee, I think that in our Senate chamber, just being a senator alone, you're a representative, you represent a certain constituency, but being on a committee, especially as important to our constituents as the Budget and Appropriations Committee, it's an added level of responsibility that I think I would want to take on because of how long I've been here. I've been here on and off, and Blake knows this, or Senator Cox, Pro Tem Cox knows this, because when I started, he was also here, but I've been here since 2022, summer 2022, on and off, so I've seen 3 fiscal year budget cycles happen, and I think that with all the things that I've seen and all the experience that I've gained, I'd really be able to bring that to the Budget Committee.
Your next question is, what experience do you have that would make you a good fit for this position?
So I talked about this a little bit on my application, but my most recent role for an organization outside of our Senate has to do with budgeting as well. I'm currently one of the recruitment chairs for my sorority, so we're very small because we're a multicultural Greek sorority, and because of that, budgeting properly to accommodate and make sure that we actually are successfully recruiting to the best of our ability is really, really important, because if not, we die as a sorority. So our budget and making sure that our budget is allocated depending on how many events we're going to have and which ones we expect to have more of a turnout. Basically, predicting those things are really important to having a successful time in my job. So that's one of the main ones that I currently hold. And for the past 2 years, I think everyone in this room has heard about this, but I was one of the Diwali directors for Indian Students Association, and that taught me a lot about budgeting. And I wrote a lot about it on my application, but just briefly. My first year, we didn't successfully get the student government money that we normally receive during a fiscal year budget. So it came down to the directors to make sure that we were fundraising properly and then appropriately spending the funds that we so preciously fundraised. And then the second year was basically the opposite, where we were able to receive $20,000 from student government for our event. And that year it was more about making sure that we knew the regulations and that we were following them appropriately, and that our money was being used in a way that would keep people entertained and also bring back the cultural aspect of Diwali to everyone that's here on campus during that event.
All right. And what ideas do you have?
So I've had a lot of ideas over the years pertaining to both the budget in Senate and out. I know I briefly talked about an idea with the treasurer and the Budget and Appropriations Committee being a little bit more accessible to students, either through listservs or through social media, or honestly, even through our website. I think accessibility is something that's really important, and communicating our deadlines and how things actually work are really important, or it results in big student organizations like Indian Students Association losing money.
That is time. Sorry.
No worries.
We now move on to technical questions. The first one is, what is the difference between an operational request and an event request?
Okay, so an operational request is something that student organizations can use for basically weekly activities or daily activities like GBMs, and an events request would be more specific to a one day or whatever event for that specific organization that they would have to request for.
Right, and what are the big 4 entities?
So the big 4 entities that used to be the big 5, now they're the big 4, and they are student engagement, that's the new one, student government, rights union, and rec sports.
What requests do the budget committee hear?
The budget committee hears operational, event, travel, and line items.
All right. And when does student government's fiscal year begin and when does it end?
So our fiscal year ends, and well, the beginning and the end are coming up. The beginning is July 1st, and the end is June 30th.
All right, and do you have any questions for us?
No, actually don't.
All right, thank you so much.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Bye-bye.
And if you see Tyler Schoberline out there, if you could get him.
He's there.
He is, okay.
Did anyone email you back?
Nope.
I'm not about to leave. Okay, have fun at Wingstop without me. Oh. Okay.
Wingstop is so good.
You have never been.
You've never been to Wingstop?
You need to go to Wingstop.
Seems good.
You need to go to Wingstop.
Where do you
want me?
Hello, where we can sit one of those. Do you mind stating your name and what you're applying for?
I am Tyler Schoberline, and I'm applying for a seat on the Budget and Appropriations Committee.
All right, you'll have 4 minutes, and then we'll move into technical questions. Your first question is, what is your motivation for applying?
Yeah, so I've done campaign a couple times now, and just with the time I've spent tabling, the only foolproof method of getting someone to actually like stop on their way to class and care about SG is talking about budget. When they find out that we manage a $23 million budget, all they want to do is ask questions. And I'm here over the summer. It's been made clear to me that I can use this time to make some change, or I can use this time to slack off. And if that is what the constituents are clearly so passionate about, I would be doing them a disservice by not trying to at least put myself in contention for something like this.
All right. What experience do you have that would make you a good fit for this position?
Yeah, so I'm 3 years into a business degree. I have 1 year left. The only major concept that hasn't been covered with curriculum in that degree is supply chain management, which I have experience in and I'm working in right now. For budgeting, at least, I've taken accounting classes, done a ton of like cost accounting problems, learned the like current academic thinking behind budgeting and how it works. And then with my job now, it's a little bit different because I'm allocating physical resources and looking at like inventory, but at the end of the day, efficiency and optimization and allocating resources is efficiency and optimization and allocating resources. So I feel like I have a little bit of a leg up in jumping into it and understanding things in real time.
Right. And your final question is, what ideas do you have?
So at this point, I think that crazy like technical ideas and really radical like suggestions for change might be a little bit disruptive in terms of how we are budgeting and how we're looking at things and structure of meetings and all the technical stuff. But I do think that, circling back to what I said earlier about the constituents and the student body being really interested in it, we should create some sort of media, whether it's the committee or Senate as a whole, where we are doing two things: telling the student body where they can find the budget and information about the budget, but also explaining what we've done with the budget. Maybe not going as deep as like why we made individual decisions, but just explaining to people where they can find it and how to understand what's in front of them. Because we do publish that, and there's a reason we publish that, but I have experience not being an SG and not being associated with any of this terminology or anything like that, and I can tell you that I probably wouldn't understand it, so I think that that could probably be helpful.
Great. And we'll now move into technical questions. First is, what is the difference between an operational request and an event request?
Yeah, so an operational request would be a student organization asking for funding for like general body meetings, food for general body meetings, awards, and then non-event related advertising, I believe, whereas an event request would be for any meeting or event that isn't a GBM. And then I think also it excludes money for equipment for those events too.
Right. And then what are the big four entities?
So they are the four entities that make up the student activity and service fee budget, and that would be the rights, rec sports, student engagement, and SG.
What requests do the budget committee hear?
So I think according to the codes, you see the proposals from the big four, any amendments to things that were decided on in budget and appropriations or in the travel grant subcommittee. And then you also get the operational event, travel requests, and then line item transfer requests.
And when does student government's fiscal year begin, and when does it end?
July 1st and June 30th, respectively.
All right, thank you so much. Do you have any questions for us?
I do not at this time.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Who's next?
Brian.
McGinnis. Yeah, Brian.
It's
See you guys.
It's Connor. Yeah, he goes by Connor.
Oh, yeah, Connor.
Connor McGinnis.
Now check your email.
Now check my email. Okay. I did get an email. I was told, she said, I applied thinking I was staying in Gainesville for the rest of the summer, but I will actually be home for the summer, unfortunately. And I said, you're still welcome to apply for the open permanent seat. We would just keep the summer portion of that seat open, is what I said. And I said, she's welcome to do a phone interview if she sends me her phone number.
Yeah.
Come in.
How are you?
You guys ready? Or?
Yes, are you ready?
Yeah.
You will have 4 minutes whenever you'd like to begin. Oh, wait, could you state your name and what you're applying for?
Oh yeah, Connor McInnes, Budget and Appropriations Committee.
Right. And you will have 4 minutes whenever you would like to begin. Your first question is, what is your motivation for applying?
Yeah, so motivation for applying, obviously I'm a senator, summer placement, and I think all y'all would agree that our biggest duty as senators is to kind of represent the people that elected us and voted us into office. So I think that the Budget Committee is a great way to do this. The saying, money talks. There's a fee from our tuition that goes into this. I think it's like this committee is one of the more important ones, and I think that there's a lot of important work that's done. So I really believe that being on this committee is kind of a great way to make my constituents' voices better heard in government, and just to better represent them.
All right. Your next question is, what experience do you have that would make you a good fit for this position?
So first of all, I think just the experience as a student. I just finished my freshman year. I lived on campus. I lived in the Honors Village. So, I live off campus right now. I, use like the gym, the Rights Union, all the Big Four. So I think just kind of having like lived that experience, kind of having like used those resources, I think is one of the things that would qualify me for this position. I kind of like know what's good about these things, what's maybe not so good about these things, maybe what needs to change. So just that, first of all. Then also, I am a member of the Prudential Committee in my fraternity. Basically what that is it's the committee that kind of deals with like the budget and kind of managing the budget, collecting dues from members. So I have experience managing the budget of a student organization. So that as well.
All right. And what ideas do you have?
So first of all, I think that a big thing that we need to do is kind of revamp the student organizations fair at the beginning of each semester. I lived on campus for 2 semesters, and I didn't really hear a thing about it. I think that we need to better advertise it. So to do that, I would kind of say like, kind of flyers in dorms would be the most important thing, and then kind of using social media as well. Not only would this improve the freshman experience at UF by kind of helping people get more involved, it's also a great way to kind of promote cooperation across the parties. So obviously a lot of dorm senators. There are dorm senators from both parties. So, to do this, we would involve the dorm senators, and it would really be a great way to kind of promote cooperation and unity within the Senate. I also think that a good addition would be the rock wall at Southwest. I think that would be like a line item maybe, but building a rock wall there is something that I think would be a really good idea. We have a pretty robust rock climbing community at UF. There's a whole rock climbing club, and the only rock wall on campus, or not on campus, excuse me, the only rock wall here is, in Lake Wahlberg, which is like 15 to 20 minutes outside of town. So I think kind of having a more accessible rock wall in the Southwest area would be something that would be really beneficial to our students, and kind of maybe lead somebody who ordinarily wouldn't have tried something like that to maybe do that. So it would kind of be a great way to promote like involvement and kind of like diversify the experience of our students. Plus a lot of other universities, in the SEC and across the nation, they also have rock walls at their on-campus gyms. So, there's some precedent for this idea.
All right. We'll now move into technical questions. What is the difference between an operational request and an event request?
Yeah, so an operational request is just for a general body meeting, and an event request is for a specific event that a student organization requests funding for.
And what are the big four entities?
The big four entities are student government, rec sports, the rights union, and student engagement.
What requests do the budget committee hear?
The budget committee hears operational, travel, event, and line item requests.
And when does student government's fiscal year begin, and when does it end?
So it's July 1st to June 30th.
All right. Do you have any questions for us?
Let me think. Yeah, is there anything from like my application or maybe my resume that I can further help clarify?
Nope. Thank you so much.
And then also, like, if I were to fill this seat, what are the expectations for the person who fills this seat?
I think that would be a good question to ask the chairman. I would say at the bare minimum, at least attending meetings, doing the work at said meetings, being attentive, doing your own research, but I think that'd be a better question for the chairman.
Thank you.
Of course.
Thank
you have
you.
a great wish.
Thanks. Good.
Yeah, we're all good.
Thank you. Have a good afternoon.
If you see Eric Davies out there, if you
Yeah, he's out there.
Okay, perfect. Hello.
How's it going?
Going well.
Good.
Could you state your name and what you're applying for?
Eric Davies. I'm applying for the Budget Committee Budget Appropriations Committee.
All right. You will have 4 minutes whenever you'd like to begin, and then we'll go into technical questions. Your first question is, what is your motivation for applying?
So in addition to just getting back to the student body and the university as a whole, which is my original intent on applying to be a student senator, just the idea of getting to handle such a large amount of money, such a giant budget we have here at the University of Florida is a really unique opportunity that you can't really find at any other university. And also just my major really aligns with the same things that this committee is doing. I'm an information systems major in the business school, so I'm really interested in the allocation of funds, data science, which is another thing I'd like to bring to this committee, and yeah, just the committee as a whole really interests me.
What experience do you have that would make you a good fit for this position?
So firstly, this year actually I was appointed by the student body president to serve on the technology fee grant committee. So on this committee we overviewed 17 different proposals from students as well as student organization leaders and faculty to give out money for a grant that we do every year at the University of Florida. These proposals consisted of like hundreds of thousands of dollars that we had to rank in order on what we thought was the best for the student body as a whole. And then that goes to the Board of Governors for them to decide finally which one they will grant the money to. So that was a really meaningful experience that applies to this committee position, as it directly related to allocating funds and overviewing different models for funding and different things that we could allocate the money to best benefit everyone here at the school. And in addition to that, I started the Interfaith Affairs Cabinet Director during the last term under Clara Calavia, and during that I had a really good experience working with a diverse group of students to serve the entire student body, to put on events that were really meaningful to students and made them feel more included in the university as a whole.
All right. And your final question is, what ideas do you have?
So I have 3 main ideas. Firstly, I'd like to collaborate with the INC committee to really prioritize using the Instagram more for the budget. The budget is something really complicated, but something so important that the student body needs to understand and grasp how big it is. So we can really utilize just graphs or charts. Like a simple pie chart means a lot to a student. So there's no reason that we can't collaborate with the UF Student Government Instagram page, which has over 10,000 followers, to on every single post on the UF Senate Instagram, that being to really reach a broader audience and show them what their money is actually going to as they pay for the budget with every credit hour they take. And then in addition to that, I'd like to get a lot more feedback from the student body. So once student organizations put in their DocuTracks requests, I think they should have an option to fill out a survey at the end on what they think is an issue with DocuTracks, what they think is an issue with the budget as a whole, where they think more money should be going to. And then finally, I'd like to incorporate AI a lot more into this committee, as we can really use that to track which student organizations are losing funding year over year, which ones need more funding, and just where the money's going to in general. We have AI at our fingertips. There's no reason we shouldn't be using it to better the student body.
All right. We'll now move on to technical questions. First up, what is the difference between an operational request and an event request?
So an operational request is used for general body meetings, and then an event request would be used for any special event other than that.
Right. And what are the big four entities?
So the big four is student engagement, which consists of SAI, and then sorority and fraternity life. Then you have student government, rec sports, and the rights union.
And what requests do the budget committee hear?
Operational, line item, event, and travel.
What does student government's fiscal year begin, and when does it end?
Begins July 1st and ends June 30th.
All right. Do you have any questions for us?
Is there a day that the budget and appropriations committee meets? Or no, it's just...
It's not a specific day.
Okay, got it. Also, I think that's it.
All right, cool. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too.
Right. I will call Rachel for our final interview because I never heard back from Micah.
Hello.
Hi, is this Rachel?
Yes, this is her.
Hi, Rachel. This is Blake calling with the Replacement Agenda Committee. Are you ready for your interview?
Yes, I am, and thank you so much for taking the time.
Of course, no worries. So you will have 5 minutes whenever you would like to begin. Your first question is, what is your motivation for applying to the Student Senate?
So I am motivated to apply to the Student Senate because student government is an important way to advocate for students. It's important that students' voices are being heard, and I want to be able to contribute to that. As a CLAS student, I am especially passionate about advocating for CLAS students' interests and addressing the challenges that face CLAS students, and just coming up with different ways and unique opportunities to help CLAS students. The College of Liberal Arts and Sciences has 43 majors, and there's something for everyone. And I think that it's important that we address those different areas and just cater to all students.
All right. All right. And what experiences do you have that would make you a good fit for this position?
So experience that I have that would contribute to being a senator. Last spring, I was able to serve as the assistant director of Gator Day. In this position, I was able to work closely with state lawmakers, campus leaders, especially the government office on campus. And this allowed me to, enhance my leadership skills. I was in charge of coming up with the schedule for the day, as well as coordinating with panelists and asking the panelists questions. Along with this, I am serving as an assistant director for Gator Day for Cameos, where I am dealt the task of finding talent for Gator Girl, as well as being in constant communication with the Gator Girl team. And currently, I am an intern in Congresswoman Debbie Wasserman Schultz's district office, where I am researching legislative affairs and just overlooking the legislative process, coming up with briefing memos, and engaging with constituents in the county.
All right. And what ideas do you have?
So ideas that I would have would be to first enhance academic support programs. Again, with the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences having 43 majors and there being over 12,000 students, I think it's important that we're catering to everyone in class and just provide specialized academic support. This could be through workshops and tutoring centers where former or fellow students could peer tutor students. I think this could be a great initiative because, again, since there are so many areas in the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences, it would be a way to make sure everyone's needs are met. Along with this, I would push to have more class-related career fairs. I know there's a couple throughout the year, but I think it would serve a great benefit if there are more career fairs that are aligned with specific majors, such as political science, and I know there's other science-related ones that could be more that-based, so I think that could serve another great way to just optimize opportunities for class students and hopefully connect them to future and potential employers who would employ them beyond college. As well as this, I believe it would be beneficial to have alumni networking events. This way, former UF students could come and speak to class students and give them career advice and what they did after college being a former class student. And I think this could also just provide a great mentorship, and they would be able to give their career advice.
All right, and do you have any questions for us?
I do not believe so, but what would you say is your most fulfilling part of being a senator?
I would say one of the most fulfilling parts of being a senator is being able to see the impact that your work does, and having put in the work and really worked hard at something and seeing it come to fruition, I think is a really kind of exciting feeling and something that I enjoy as part of being a student senator.
Right, no, and that is very important.
All right, well, thank you so much. You have a great rest of your day.
Thank you, and thank you again for your time.
Of course. All right. Do we want to take a recess in between?
How much time do you think?
Probably
I would say like
5-10 minutes.
What do you think? It's your first time.
What do I think?
Yeah.
5 minutes is fine with me.
Right.
Also, is Rachel applying for something else?
What do you mean?
Because she's not like,
What?
she's no longer like class replacement. You were saying she's summer.
What?
Summer replacement only.
Oh.
I don't think I understood.
No, so she applied for the open permanent seat for
Yeah.
class.
Right.
And she said she won't be here in Gainesville. So,
Summer.
yes, so if she was approved, she would fulfill the permanent seat, but she would not. But the summer seat would still be open.
Okay.
So was the summer seat not open on the website for a separate application?
I'm not sure if it was a separate application. I can't remember. I believe it should have been.
It should have been.
Because it was listed out. But
Yeah.
all right. Well, I move us into a recess at 5:40 p.m. To be called back at 5:45 or ordered back by the chair by unanimous consent. Are there any objections? Hearing none, the motion passes. I call this meeting back to order at 5:48 p.m. We'll start with attendance unless I hear it's different. I'll start with attendance.
Julia Seifert.
Roman Quattroki.
Isha Khan.
And the chair, Blake Cox, is present. Will any others in the room please state your name?
Tyler Squad. Antonio Hendricks.
Perfect, thank you. We will now move into deliberations. Just a reminder for the process, we deliberate for 3 minutes per seat. So we'll do 3 minutes for the open permanent class seat and then 3 minutes for the open budget and appropriation seat. So we'll start with 3 minutes, kind of just freely speaking, and then I'll moderate if it's like people are talking over each other. All right. Does anyone else start?
I can. So this is difficult because, well, we had two very good applicants, Finley Gibbons and Rachel Krutchik, and then I guess Mika didn't show. I honestly really loved both of their interviews, and I thought that the Health Caucus and Lab Goggle donation drive is something that I've been wanting to do, and is genius. However, Rachel Krutchik's interview very, very much impressed me because I am in class. I had no idea how many majors there were, how many students were in class. She's very clearly well-researched. The fact that she's interning for like an actual member of the Florida government means that she's already engaging with county constituents. And then I believe that one thing that we couldn't tell what she was saying. I think she's in charge of finding talent for Gator Growl, which is like specifically reaching out to people, even like big name people. So she clearly has a way of like working closely with people, contacting them. And then as for her ideas, I always love the idea of alumni networking events, because I just think that's an excellent point. And more class career fairs are also useful, but I did want to focus on the alumni networking events because I think that's a great contribution, especially because so many people have brought up like a class mentorship program before, but I think people tend to believe that it should be student to student, and I think that the alumni thing can connect you with more job opportunities.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think also I really did like both applicants as well. It was very interesting to see the two different perspectives. I think I would like to note Finley's kind of perspective as a biochem major. I think starting Health Caucus is one way that he's showing that perspective, but I think another point that I don't think anybody else, another point that I appreciated that he brought up was absentee ballots. I've never really thought about them myself. And another thing with Rachel is that we've already heard from former Senator Hoffer, I believe, that academic support for CLAS students isn't really accessible at all, nor is it able to be done. As we all know that, Hoffer used to be a senator in the spring. Well, she still is, but she has a replacement, which is Finley. I think I really appreciate Finley's perspective, and I'm really interested in seeing kind of what he would do in the future with absentee ballots. I think that while Rachel has great ideas, I don't think that it's possible that she'll be able to complete them, as we've heard before. So
yeah, I mean, absolutely. Finley Gibbons was very qualified, definitely a cool dude.
You're not out of time, I'm just showing you,
All
because
right.
you have 4 seconds.
Yeah.
That is time. All right, now on to deliberations for the open budget and appropriation seat. Again, 3 minutes. Would anyone like to start?
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I really enjoyed Angelina Trajan's perspective. I think that while everybody has like a lot of academic perspective, I really appreciated hers as a student organization leader. I think that as Diwali director of ISA, she had to deal with two different ends of the spectrum, having to fundraise and having to allocate a really tiny budget versus having to allocate $20,000. I think both have those different issues, but I also think her ideas in terms of a listserv, social media, and the website, which is 3 different platforms essentially, to communicate with treasurers, is a really good point as well. However, I also enjoyed hearing Reagan's perspective. I've never really thought about how actual government pertains to student government, how we can utilize listening in on how the actual government operates to kind of maybe more effectively operate as a student government. I really thought that that her idea, especially to have to see the government budget hearing, was really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think Tyler Schloberlin and Eric Davies kind of covered the same thing, touching on just the transparency for the budget committee. I liked Eric's idea specifically on collaborating with the INC committee for budget and kind of having a way to kind of broadcast like pie charts and certain things that could kind of reveal to students like what the budget committee is doing and make things more palpable in terms of what we do. I really liked his experience as he worked on a technology fee grant committee here at UF and was like dealing with real world applications in terms of administering hundreds of thousands of dollars. So he already has experience doing allocations. I think that was really important, and he's an information systems major, so this is like to be expected from someone who studies this. Also was very interested on what he has planned for incorporating AI into kind of tracking student orgs in terms of how they lose money and where money could be best used. So
my two of my favorite interviews were Anjali's and Eric's, and that's because they were both coming from the perspective of someone who's actually been on the receiving end of like student organization funding, I guess, so to speak. But I did specifically like Eric Davies' feedback form at the very end of DocuTrack asking for like issues and opinions on the thing that's happening. I think that like both of them touched also on like Instagram posts and like utilizing that to get the word out, but I think that like an actual feedback form is really great, especially because it's a good alternative instead of like going out and specifically asking student organizations to directly give us feedback. It's a way to reach out to them.
That is time. Do I hear a motion at this time?
I have a motion.
Yes.
Okay. I move to approve Rachel Krutchik for the open class seat by unanimous consent.
There's been a motion to approve Rachel Krutchik for the open permanent class seat by unanimous consent. Are there any objections?
Object.
There's been an objection.
Okay, I remake that motion and all by unanimous consent.
The motion has been remade. Sorry, I'm just updating the minutes. All right. That motion has been remade. We are now in line for a vote. I guess we'll start with Cypher down there.
Yes.
Yes.
No.
I will abstain in a vote of 2 to 1 to 1. That motion passes.
Okay, I have a follow-up.
Follow up?
Yes, I move to approve Eric Davies for the open budget and appropriation seat by unanimous consent.
There's been a motion to approve Eric Davies for the open budget and appropriation seat by unanimous consent. Are there any objections? Hearing none, the motion passes.
Okay, I have a follow-up.
Okay.
So, seeing as we're moving out of approving people, I'm going to begin agenda items.
Yes.
So, I move to add all of the approved and failed absences to the agenda by unanimous consent.
All right, there's been a motion to add all the approved and failed absences under rules and ethics by unanimous consent. Are there any objections? Hearing none, that motion passes.
And I move to our follow-up. I move to make a special rule to hear all of the approved and failed absences as a block by unanimous consent.
There's been a motion to add a special rule for all approved and failed absences to be heard as a block by unanimous consent. Are there any objections? Hearing none, the motion passes.
Okay, follow-up.
Follow-up?
I move to add the budget bill to the agenda under first readings to be the very first thing that's heard under first readings during the meeting by unanimous consent.
There has been a motion to add the amended fiscal year 25 budget from the Budget and Appropriations Committee at the top of bills under first reading by unanimous consent. Are there any objections? Hearing none, the motion passes.
Okay, follow-up.
Follow-up?
I move to add all of the judiciary legislation approved by the Judiciary Committee to their respective places under first or second reading by unanimous consent.
Is that also applying like bills that
Yes,
were okay?
period.
So there's been a motion to add all approved legislation by the Judiciary Committee this week under first readings, and to move all applicable bills under second readings by unanimous consent. Are there any objections? Hearing none, the motion passes.
Follow-up.
Follow-up?
I move to add the executive nomination to under RNA recommendations by unanimous consent.
There's been a motion to add the executive nomination under replacement agenda committee nominations by unanimous consent. Are there any objections? Hearing none, the motion passes.
Okay.
Do I hear a motion to adopt the agenda?
I move to adopt the agenda by unanimous consent.
There's been a motion to adopt the agenda by unanimous consent. Are there any objections? Hearing none, that motion passes. Seeing that, I adjourn this meeting at 5:58 p.m.